you, man. I'm gonna start working starting this week, probably next week, Monday. But the video is motivation. And without it, I know discipline overtakes motivation, that's what they say. But without motivation, you feel empty. Your fire, your desire to be the best, to do whatever you're doing, without it, you feel nothing. And with that nothingness, it's not the fact that you don't want to do nothing. It's the fact you don't yearn for nothing. You're just there, existing. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. That's going to be my motivation with boxing. Look, beginning boxing. So the whole reason I even begun boxing is, even from a youth, I gravitated towards it. Like, I had, imagine, let me rip this off, man. We don't give no free promo. But imagine like a poster, yeah. Not a poster, a canvas. And it's one of them canvases you could literally tap it and it'll break. Like you could stick a finger through. And it was Muhammad Ali, sting like a butterfly, float like a bee. So imagine that's a canvas. Literally all the time, I would just have the canvas, look at it, smile, and start shadow boxing. I loved it. And from the age of 17, I was like, you know what? Let me start boxing. So I decided, went to one boxing gym called the Fight Club, something like that, some trash gym. I was like, oh, how much for a trial? A trial was meant to be free. They said, oh, it's $120 for a week, a trial. No, that's not a trial, mate. Little scam artists. For boxing as well. That's the cheapest martial art. Are you charging more than Muay Thai? Or Jiu-Jitsu or something like that? Like, bro, you're mocking it. So I was like, you know what? Riding my bike around, asked this guy, I was like, no. It was summertime just before college. I wasn't doing nothing with my time. I was like, oh, why you get a job? Why you get a job, man? Why you get a job? Because to do something with your life, get some education. At least I applied for college and I started in September. Stop bothering me. And I was working. I was working for my neighbor. And I used to work from 8 a.m. all the way, sometimes even 7 or 6. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. You know how long that is? Do you know how long that is, bro? That is 14 hours that I was working. I was getting like £40. And you're telling me to work. And I'm not doing nothing. I was working my butt off. And I realised he was just exploiting me, mate. Trying to, literally using the 48 laws of power on me. The free lunch, all of that. Oh, I never cook for nobody else, only you. No, I never made food for nobody else, only you. You done it for my brother, so you're chatting rubbish. But back to the story at hand. So I finally found the boxing gym. I was looked on, nearly gave a free promo, mate. So I looked online on the World Wide Web, WEBBE, and I found Ballon Boxing Club. So I pulled up on my bike. I remember asking someone, oh, you know any good boxing gyms around there? I saw him later, I gave him a head nod. He's like I'm some weirdo for chatting to you, you flipping NPC. But I went there. I remember everyone was skipping. It was hella dark. It wasn't too dark, it's like dim lighting. It was summertime as well, it's like July. And then, I went in. And he's like, oh, that'll be £3. I was like, oh, can I pay by card? And he's like, you know what, just go. And then everyone was boxing. Cole was boxing. I was like, that was the lamest looking guy I've ever seen. And he could do the 1-2. And I couldn't. He's like, oh, you ever had a fight before? I was like, yeah. He's like, you never win then, do ya? Trying to get that fire out of me. And at the time, I didn't realize my whole fire inside of me, or part of it, definitely not the whole fire, was to to prove to my deadbeat dad that I didn't need him. And once he went to jail, I felt empty. There's a deep emptiness inside me. A part of my motivation was killed off because I feel like he wouldn't ever see it. I feel like he wouldn't ever see why. And once I got that motivation back, I kind of went crazy. But that's another story. So, to set it off, you went jail, and I just felt empty. I remember tears were going down my eyes. Like, and my crush, he would always stare at me, just looking, watching me cry, bruv. I didn't feel like a man at that point. Especially my grands every day, oh, I don't want you here. You came here to torment me. Nah. You go home to your mother. Nah. And all this crap. And yeah, even though I go out my way to go shopping for her, went shopping for her for like 4 days out of the week. And the one day I couldn't because I was busy. She treated me like nothing. So, yeah. Back to the point, like, I just felt empty. Felt like nothingness. And a big part of my motivation was killed off. And, yeah. And this is when I started developing. Not developing, I always had it, I guess. DID. Dissociative identity disorder. Like, I could just hear the voice. It would just talk to me. And on my first boxing fight, when it was meant to be my first boxing fight, it wanted to kill the person. Kill them. Perish them. More like, hopefully I won't get demonetized for that crap. But I wanted to perish the person. And because of that, I was actually speaking to the other persona. And I was like, let's just hospitalize them. And I went in the ring. I should have knocked him out. I felt pity. And I backed off. And purposely missed my jabs. And I lost the bout from one judge. And I had an injured foot. And my thumb was injured as well. And an ex-world champion, ex-heavyweight world champion of Britain, not just Britain, of the world, he said to me, you did good out there. You go Ballon Boxing Club. I'll visit you. So, yeah. And the first thing that happened when I came home, my grandma was like, did you lose? Not did you win. Did you lose? You lost, didn't you? Biggest hater. So I just sat in my room. And for like 2 weeks, I wasn't even eating. First 3 days, I didn't eat. She just did nothing. I just sat there into my own defeat and wallowed. It was shambolic. And then when I finally came back, I realized something. The reason all these people around me couldn't understand me was because I didn't speak. I speak perfectly now, but when I first joined the club, I wouldn't speak at all. Like, at all. So no one understood me. And the more I spoke, the more I was getting, not conflicted, but, yeah, conflicted, I guess. But the word I'm looking for is, I guess, attacked for my views and my personality because it wasn't seen before. But I was like, no, I'm going to keep speaking. How am I going to lead this team if you can't understand my leadership? Yeah. And then, yeah, I'm going to keep this. What happened next? I found my motivation. Ambidextrous. Marvelous Webb. Marvelous Hagler. Ex-Logan Webb. Marvelous Webb. And I felt free. I felt completely free. And I got sectioned for it. I said I wanted to join the Olympics. I said I know it's impossible. But I had a plan and I explained it to them. And I said it probably won't work, but I want to see it anyway. And I listed a bunch of people who have made it, like Nicole Milana, Nurna, all these people. They're seen as crazy until they do it. And they took me as crazy and drugged me and made me a zombie, ruined my knee, made me skinny. Did you look at this? Look how big my nipples are, bro. There used to be little dots, like, and that's all because they put me on Risperidone, a drug that makes boys lactate. Every time I ask why are you giving this to me? And then you know what they did? Springfield Hospital, you know, that's what they did. Grabbed me by one arm, grabbed me by another arm, held up a beanbag, and then a little plastic container, and said, "Oh, you're taking this, or we're gonna suffocate me." I'm gonna end it there. MKVA out. MKVA back. 2028, we're joining the Olympics, bro. Next week, Monday, 100 push-ups times 10. 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats, 500 pull-ups, 1,000 sit-ups. Peace.